let's talk about that promise that the Lord gave you and guarding our hearts against hope deferred. Recently, I read Genesis 15, and it wasn't my idea, it was the Lord's idea, because he's got the best ideas thus so far. He's the smartest man I've ever met in my entire life. Now, he said that, as I was reading it, when he made the covenant with Abram, and he told Abram to go out and look at the stars and see if he can count them, and that these are going to be his descendants, and that he was going to give them the nations. And this promise didn't happen until he was 99 years old. So it's been probably many years. So how many times did Abram go out to go count the stars? Just to remember, the promise that the Lord had given him. How many times was there smoke in the way of counting those stars? Like the promise had been dimmed, or it had been so long, and then we try to take things out in our own strength. And so thus there's the Hagar and then the Ishmael, and if Abram would have waited, how much better that promise would have been from I think the Bible puts it where a child born from the Spirit instead of a child born out of flesh. And then I believe Ishmael ended up being the enemy. So essentially, because he didn't wait for the promise for the Spirit to move, then he essentially gave birth to his future enemy. So I call it smoke and mirrors. I don't know what you call it, when the enemy comes and tries to bring hope deferred to our hearts, and that's how our hearts get sick. So what kind of smoke and mirrors is the enemy trying to have you believe in? The Lord is not a man that he should lie, right? And then if you skip to chapter 17, so from 15 to 17, essentially there were two covenants that were made between Abram and then the Lord, and then Abraham and the Lord. It's like two separate people, because he renamed him. He gave both Abram and Sarai an H in their name. And I believe that was reference to the breath of God. The Holy Spirit was added. I don't know if there were any other covenants made between the Lord and Abraham and Sarah. I'm not a scholar or anything, but those are the things that I had pointed out. So, and then I recently heard a pastor say, if the enemy, or the peanut gallery, the womp, is up here, what is he doing up here? He should be under your feet. So let's put him back where he belongs, under our feet, right? So don't let the enemy try to tell you that your promise is never going to come, and blah, 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 and you've waited, a whole week and a half or year or however long it's been. It probably hasn't been as long as Abraham and Sarah waited for their promise, right? So I just wanted to point that out, and I thought that was really cool. It's a very encouraging word from the Lord. So maybe we should go back and read Genesis 15 through 17 and see what the Lord has to tell you personally too. And maybe I'll go back and read it again too, and see if there are any other details that I had missed. Until then, See you next time. God bless you. Grace and peace to you. That's what Paul always says. Grace and peace to you from God the Father. So, God bless you, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.